Welcome, you guys. I am very excited to come on and do a little mini episode of Tea and Teachings on rewiring your brain. You guys hear me talk about this all the time. I talk about rewiring your brain to stop binge eating. And I really want to talk about like what the heck this actually means, why this is important, because I got here. So many of you guys know I celebrated my 5-year anniversary on Wednesday. It's been 5 years since I really committed to a better relationship with food. I committed to healing my relationship with food. I committed to putting in the work. I committed to ending binge eating. And I've just extracted like so much wisdom, so much knowledge in terms of like what it actually takes to get here. Hey, Kristen. Hi, Kylie. Hey, Cindy. Hello, you guys. So I got here because I knew that my binge eating was purely a habit. How many of you guys know that your binge eating is purely a habit? You're like, my life is good. My relationships are good. Hey, you're like, my relationships are good. Like, I'm happy in my life. Like, my career is good. Like, things are good, but you're like, I'm just feeling out of control with food. Right? Like, that's what I knew. I knew, like, I didn't have, I'm not saying this is good or wrong, good or bad, or right or wrong, whatever it is, but like, for me, I didn't have crazy things happen to me in my childhood. I was just like, I clearly restricted myself. I've been on diet since I was in freaking grade 8. Like, I know that the deprivation is what's causing me to spiral out of control. And I just know it's a habit. Yes, my nighttime eating is 100% a habit. Yes. Rebecca, so good to have you on. I'm excited to hear back from you. Shelly, welcome, Shelly. Okay. So you probably know, if you're here, you're like, I know that it's a habit. And the way that yeah, Cindy, totally habit. So the way that you started binge eating was because you had these crazy food rules. You can remember the first time that you started dieting. Hey, Nadia, my badass membership client. If you're in the membership, say membership below. Who's in the membership? All my amazing clients are popping on. I love you guys. So the way you started binge eating was because you had all these like crazy rules and you started dieting at a very young age. And then that made you impulsive with food, right? Like you felt out of control. You felt this need to consume large amounts of food because you were just so deprived. Membership. Yes. Donna just joined for a year. Like, I am so freaking excited. You guys are amazing. So you feel out of control and you feel this need to consume a lot of food at once because you're just trying to make up for like all the years of deprivation, right? So then you binge, you feel out of control. And then what happens afterwards? After you just had a binge, what happens? You feel ashamed, you feel embarrassed, you feel like a failure, you feel mad at yourself, you feel frustrated, you feel lethargic. So then what do? I need to go back to that diet. I need to create another set of rules. I need to go back to, okay, I need to go back to the set of rules that I tried before, but I couldn't stick to. I'm going to try again. This is the diet binge cycle. This cycle is what you've repeated for years and years and years and years and years and years without even really recognizing it. And it's the most logical thing to do, right? I'm out of control with food. I'm having these binging episodes. I don't have control. Well, then I must create rules to try to help me be in control, but it's the rules that causes you to feel out of control. So that cycle that you keep repeating, you go on a diet, you restrict yourself, you feel out of control, you binge, you feel guilty, you try to do better. That cycle gets ingrained into your brain over and over and over again. What's a habit? A habit is something that you do over and over and over again that it becomes effortless. Brushing your teeth, making your bed, driving to work, riding a bike, making your bed, whatever it is, it's like all of those things become on autopilot. You don't have to think about it. It's just like you just do, right? So like, think about it. Like every time maybe you drive to work, sometimes I'm like driving somewhere. I don't know if you guys ever experienced this. Like I'm driving somewhere and I'm like, how did I get here? Like I wasn't really like paying attention, but I'm like, I just got here. I'm like, how? What? I don't know. I just got here because it's so habitual. You don't have to think. There's like not a lot of effort. It's just like go, just do. You don't have to think, you just do. When you binge, you don't think, you just do. You numb out, you escape from the world, you just do. You don't have to think. So how you started binge eating was by ingraining this habit into your brain repetitively, right? Repetitively giving into your urges, repetitively restricting. If that is how you started binge eating, well, the way out of binge eating is by rewiring your brain out of these habitual cycles, which means you need to use specific tools over and over and over and over and over again. Repetition, 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 repetition. I go to yoga. I feel like I talk about yoga on every Tea and Teachings episode, but it's just the reality. So I go to yoga. We do the same poses almost every single class. There are standard poses in yoga. You got the Shavasana, you got the child's pose, you got warrior 1, warrior 2, warrior 3, downward dog. Like you got the standard poses. Why? Why do I go to a yoga class and it's the same poses over and over and over again? 3 main reasons. Number 1, so we can master the poses. Number 2, they work. And number 3, you can get better at them. You do the same yoga poses to master them because they work, and then you get better at them every single time that you do them. So let's break this down and relate it back to binge eating. Mastering them. You don't get better at making peace with carbs by not allowing yourself to have carbs. You make peace with carbs by allowing yourself to have carbs. Just like in yoga, you don't get better by doing pigeon if you just keep doing child's pose. You got to do pigeon in order to get better at pigeon. You don't regain control with you don't regain control with chocolate by allowing yourself broccoli. You regain control back and stop binge eating, not by dieting, but by using specific tools to help you regain control and stop binge eating. So if I'm trying to get better at pigeon and I'm doing child's pose and wondering why I'm not getting better at pigeon, it's because I'm not doing pigeon. If you're trying to stop binge eating, but you're still dieting, it's like you're trying to get better at binge eating, but you're not doing the things that's going to help you to stop binge eating, right? Rewiring your brain is the specific tools repeated over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's the specific tools, not just once, not just twice. You don't get better at pigeon by doing it once and you're like, yes, I made it. You do it every single yoga class. I go to yoga almost every single day and it's the same poses over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Because they work. There's tools that work. That's why you do them every day. When you're healing your relationship with food, you have to repeat the tools over and over and over again. If you're in my programs, you know the tools, you know if they work, and you have to keep repeating them. In my membership, we literally have a section inside of the membership where it's literally called Badass Tools. And every single time you use one of the brain-based tools that I teach you, you post in there. I used it today. I use it tomorrow. I use it again. I use it again. I use it again. I use it again, over and over and over and over again. It's not like I use the tool once and my brain is rewired. You didn't start binge eating by going on one diet or restricting once. You started binge eating because you restricted over and over and over again. You gave into your urges over and over and over again. So you also have to repeat the tools to reprogram your brain repetitively. With binge eating, you get better at trusting yourself. How many of you guys want to better trust yourself? Drop trust in the chat if you're like, I love to trust myself more. Drop trust in the chat. If you want to trust yourself to go out for dinner without anxiety, you got to practice going out for dinner. If you want to trust yourself around ice cream, you got to allow yourself to have ice cream in order to build up that trust. Yes, Kylie. Yes, Cindy. Yes, Brittany. Yes, Shelly. This is the way that it works. If you want to trust yourself to be home alone and not binge, you got to practice being home alone and utilizing the tools when you're home alone. Not, oh, I'm just going to go out and I'm going to just try to stay busy and try not to be home alone. I'm going to avoid being home alone because I don't trust myself. Well, then you're never going to trust yourself to being at home. The things that you want to get better at is the things that you need to repeat over and 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 over again. So there's a reason why there's specific poses at yoga, and there's a specific reason why there's tools to implement to overcome binge eating. But now what I want to say is you don't want to look at rewiring your brain as like this scary thing. It's not. Let's use yoga again as an example. So when you first did, let's say, a tree pose at yoga, right? Maybe it's like you felt off. You're like, I don't really have balance. I don't have a strong core yet. Maybe it felt scary. Maybe you felt embarrassed because you like fell out of the pose. Like, I don't know, whatever it is. But you kept on doing tree pose and you kept on doing it over and over. And then you're like, look, I can do it with no hands, or I can close my eyes, or I can do it on a block, whatever it is. It becomes easier. You get better at it over time. With binge eating, right now, you're like, I don't really trust myself. I am out of control. I don't really know, like hunger and fullness cues, they're kind of like out of whack. I don't trust myself to be home alone. I get anxious going out for dinner, but then you implement the tools, you start going out for dinner more, you expose yourself to your trigger foods, you practice not giving into your urges, you implement over and 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 over again, not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, but multiple times over and over and over and over again. And then it gets easier. And you're like, being home alone and not binging is actually easy. I feel less anxious going out for dinner. One of my membership clients, it was her birthday the other day, and she celebrated. She went out for dinner, and she said it was her best birthday in years. She had a chicken BLT, I think it was like a sandwich or something like that for dinner, pistachio, soft serve ice cream for dinner, which was her absolute favorite. And she was able to be present with her family, not feel anxious, and not overeat. Why? Because she actually practice that tool of going out for dinner, ordering what she wants, having the dessert, listening to her body, honoring her cravings. And as a result, she was able to do that without feeling anxious and without overeating. But imagine she was like, but I don't trust myself yet. So I can't go out for dinner because I don't trust myself. Well, then she wouldn't have experienced that freedom of trusting herself, because in order for you to get better at something, you have to do it. And over and over and over and over again. What used to seem impossible, or what might seem scary, actually gets to feel so exciting the more times you do it. Imagine if this client was like, I can't go out for dinner because I don't trust myself. Again, she wouldn't have experienced that freedom, that amazing night out with her family and her children. Her children were literally so excited, like we're all eating ice cream. Like, that's a moment that you're never going to get back in time. That's like so precious. So freedom comes through taking action, implementing the tools over and over and over and over again. You get better at yoga by going daily, weekly. You get more flexible. You feel more calm. You feel more relaxed. And you notice when you don't go, how shitty you feel. And same with binge eating. When you practice the tools, you're becoming less impulsive. You're less anxious around food. You feel less guilty, right? It's like I'm trusting myself more. I'm utilizing the tools. And then when you don't utilize the tools, and you don't lean into the support and you don't lean into the community, you feel it and you're like, I'm more impulsive, or oh, I'm having a bad day, or I'm binging more. Like you feel it, you notice it. Right? So doing the same tools over and over again is what's going to rewire your brain. But it can feel repetitive. That's the point. That's what works. Again, you don't go to a yoga class and you're like expecting the yoga instructor to do different poses that you've never done before every single class. Like, sure, there's going to be the standard poses, and then maybe it's like, hey, we're going to try this arm balance, or hey, we're going to try this variation. Like, there could be different poses that the yoga instructor teaches you, but there's still the foundations. There's still the basic poses that you have to master. When it comes to ending binge eating, you have to master the foundational tools. Yes, there are specific tools that be more customized to you. So for my clients that have stopped binge eating and now they're doing a little bit of overeating, there are specific tools for that. And then once you work through your urges and now you're having body image struggles, there's specific tools for that. But you still need to master the foundational tools of becoming less impulsive, releasing food guilt, getting out of the all or nothing mentality, no longer thinking about food. Like you need to master the foundational tools over and over and over and over and over again. Shiny object syndrome. You know that? It's like, what's this new thing, or what's this new thing? Like, I feel like so many people get trapped up in the dieting world because it's like everyone's talking about like, oh, look at this new diet, or look at this new diet, or like it's like so exciting. Like when keto first came out, or intermittent fasting, or like whatever it is, it's like, oh, what's everyone doing? I want to do that. It's like this new shiny thing. Everyone wants to know the new tool. What else can I be doing? Oh, what is this person doing? What's the next best thing? Believe me, I got a shit ton of tools to give you guys. Like, I have so many tools, but you need to be implementing the tools that you already know over and 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 over again. So I want you to ask yourself, and let me know in the comments, are you utilizing tools every day to rewire your brain? Are you utilizing tools every day to rewire your brain? I want you to get honest with yourself. I want you to get real with yourself. Are you utilizing tools every day to rewire your brain? If not, are you going to start? You can drop a meme down below if you're like, heck yes, like I'm going to do this. Because again, in order for you to get better at something, you have to repeat it. If you want to stop your binge eating, you have to repeat the tools over and over and over and over again. Heck yes, the tools are so important. Yes. Yes. And it's okay if you're not, right? It's okay if you're not. It's like, okay, I'm going to plug back into support and I'm going to recommit. It's not about being perfect. You guys know that's not what I'm about. It's not about being perfect. And it's not about like, oh my God, I'm a failure if I didn't today, but it's continuously doing them over and over and over again. And again, if you're in the membership, utilize the badass tools section. We literally have an entire section where it says badass tools. Every time you utilize a tool, you post in there and then you learn, what are other people doing? What tools are other people implementing? Oh, I haven't tried this. What's this tool? Right? So over and over and over again. I need to practice the tools during the urge more. Yes. Shelly, I started using a couple. I found your post. Amazing. Brittany, I know you're going to. You're in the membership. You're a badass. Plug into the badass tools section. Mac is a badass. Yes. Gonna implement either breath work, cold shower, both amazing. So, so, so awesome. You guys know me. You guys know me. I'm all about taking the action, utilizing the tools, because I know what's required to get you to freedom. I know how to get you there. I know how to help you stop binge eating. I know what it takes. You're ready. So all you got to do is when you start implementing the tools, you have belief in yourself, you know you can get there. It's like this is where progress starts happening over and over and over again. You commit even for a week of like this week, I'm going to really focus on utilizing the tools. In 1 week, you can make incredible progress. In a week from now, you can start feeling less guilty. You can have less urges, like if you really commit to it. So lean into the community, lean into the support, utilize your badass tools. This is how you're going to start being less impulsive with food over and over again. Even on the days where you don't feel like it, right? It's like, I'm going to show up for myself because what really matters to me in this season of my life is healing my relationship with food. What really matters to me in this season of my life is ending binge eating. So I'm going to commit, I'm going to commit, I'm going to commit, I'm going to commit. Drop commit down below if you're going to commit. Drop commit down below, because it's easy to say I'm going to do it, but saying it and actually implementing is different. So comment commit if you're going to commit. And I know all of you guys are, because you're here and you're badasses. You wouldn't be here. You would not be watching this if you're not an action taker and if you're not a badass. Yes, Mac, Kristen, Brittany, Cindy, Nadia. Yes, 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 yes. Shelly. Yes. Amazing. All right, you guys, have the most amazing, amazing, amazing rest of your day. I love you guys. Go commit, go implement, go rewire your brain, start being less impulsive with food. It's going to change your life. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I love you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.